Everyone saying Jiren is the most boring villain in Dragon Ball Super is completely wrong, and I'm going to prove it, because his story genuinely changed my life. What's even crazier is that Toei originally planned for Jiren to have a more expressive, heroic personality like Toppo, but Akira Toriyama pushed for something entirely different. A stoic, almost monk-like warrior defined by silence and overwhelming strength. And there's a reason for that. Toriyama wasn't just writing a strong character, he was crafting a final lesson for an entire generation. Not long after, Toriyama passed away, and that makes Jiren's story hit even harder. Because beneath the surface, this isn't just about power. It's about what strength actually means and why almost everyone misunderstood it. My name is Kisaki. I've been a lifelong manga fan, and Dragon Ball is, without question, my favorite series of all time. I make analytical, science-based anime videos, not just to break down power levels, but to extract real lessons from fiction that actually apply to life. If that sounds like something you're into, make sure you subscribe, because this video might genuinely change how you see strength. Let's start with Jiren's introduction, because it's one of the most insane character debuts in anime. From the moment he appears in the Tournament of Power, Jiren is different. He barely speaks, he barely moves, and yet his presence alone dominates the arena. When Goku first tests him, Jiren doesn't even flinch. Even later, when Goku returns in Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, Jiren casually blocks attacks that previously overwhelmed gods of destruction-level fighters. In multiple scenes, he defeats opponents without even looking at them, an implied level of reaction speed that exceeds conventional combat perception. And then comes the moment that broke the entire scaling system, Jiren versus Hit. Hit's ability, Time Skip, is essentially localized time manipulation. From a physics standpoint, that implies temporary decoupling from standard temporal flow. But Jiren doesn't just resist it, he adapts to it mid-fight, forcing Hit to evolve his technique into full-time cage manipulation. Even that fails. Jiren breaks through by overpowering the energy constraints maintaining the temporal distortion itself. He also overwhelms a spirit bomb enhanced by energy from nearly all Universe 7 fighters. That matters because the spirit bomb functions as a collective energy construct, meaning Jiren is countering not just raw power, but distributed multi-source energy aggregation at a universal scale. And it doesn't stop there. Statements throughout the arc imply Jiren surpasses even gods of destruction like Belmod. Even Beerus is consistently framed as uncertain about Jiren's true upper limit. What makes this even more insane is that Goku needs Ultra Instinct Sign and mastered Ultra Instinct just to compete. Ultra Instinct itself is described as a state where the body moves independently of conscious thought, essentially removing neural delay. Even then, Jiren adapts and pushes Goku past his limits repeatedly. Jiren is the only Dragon Ball antagonist that forces Goku to have not just one, but two different new transformations. Despite gaining two new transformations, Goku cannot defeat him alone. Transformations have become a staple anime trope thanks to Dragon Ball. The trope often has a character gain a new power as the key to a victory in a difficult fight. Dragon Ball is always unpredictable, and it gave Goku two new transformations for his battle against Jiren, which is unheard of. He only needed to transform once into a Super Saiyan to defeat Frieza. He only needed to learn Super Saiyan God to fight Beerus, and only needed to learn Blue Kaioken for Hit. We've never seen Goku need not one but two transformations to compete against a foe, but that shows just how truly powerful and incredible Jiren is. That's what makes Jiren so cool. He's not flashy, he's not loud, he's pure concentrated power. And in extended fight sequences, like when he tanks combined attacks from Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, and Android 17 simultaneously, he demonstrates endurance that suggests near-total energy efficiency under sustained output conditions. But this is where things get personal. There was a time in my life where I fell deep into Redpill ideology. I believed in becoming a Sigma male, someone dominant, independent, relying on no one. I cut people off. I thought trust was weakness. And when I watched Jiren, I saw exactly what I wanted to be, a lone wolf at the top, untouchable. But if you actually pay attention to Jiren's story, that's not strength, that's trauma. Jiren's backstory is devastating. As a child, he watched his family get murdered. He was taken in by a master who taught him strength and justice. But when that master was killed by a powerful enemy, Jiren sought revenge, and when he failed, his comrades abandoned him. In that moment, Jiren internalized a brutal belief. Trust is meaningless, bonds are fragile. The only thing that matters is power. So he shut himself off completely. Everything about Jiren's philosophy is built on that trauma. He doesn't trust anyone, not because he's above it, but because he's afraid of losing again. His strength isn't freedom, it's a defense mechanism. And when I realized that, it hit me hard. Because I was the same. It made me question everything. Was isolating myself really strength, or was it fear disguised as independence? Now let's go back to the Tournament of Power, because this is where everything comes together. Jiren dominates almost the entire tournament. He defeats nearly everyone from Universe 7 with overwhelming ease. Even when Goku taps into Ultra Instinct, Jiren adapts. He evolves mid-fight, pushing back against what should be an unbeatable state. And when Goku's body finally gives out from the strain, Jiren stands victorious. This should have been the end. But it was. Because Goku didn't win through power, he won through trust. In the final moments, Goku is exhausted. He can barely stand, and standing next to him is Frieza, his greatest enemy. A character defined by betrayal, cruelty, and ego. And yet, in this moment, Goku trusts him completely. Despite their history of bad blood, they rely on each other entirely. This is the first and only time we've ever seen Frieza trust another person. Even Frieza was able to learn to trust a person before Jiren. Alongside them is Android 17, another former enemy. 3 individuals with completely different histories, united by a single goal. This is the power Jiren never understood. They charge Jiren together. And for the first time, Jiren is overwhelmed. Not by strength, but by cooperation. From a systems perspective, this is synergy. Individual power has limits, but coordinated systems can exceed the sum of their parts. Jiren, operating alone, hits a ceiling. Universe 7, operating as a unit, breaks past it. Jiren loses. And in that loss, something changes. He sees it, he understands it. Strength isn't isolation, it's connection. That's the lesson. The power of trust isn't just emotional, it's functional. It allows adaptability, resilience, and growth in ways isolation never can. And that's something you can apply directly to life. Whether it's friendships, teamwork, or even just asking for help, trust amplifies what you're capable of. And for me, that realization changed everything. I started opening up. I started trusting people again. And over time, I built real connections, dozens of friends who genuinely helped me grow, not just socially, but mentally. I became stronger, not alone, but together. That's why Jiren is the best character in Dragon Ball. Not just because he's strong, but because his story teaches you what strength actually is. And knowing that Akira Toriyama is no longer with us makes that lesson even more powerful. It feels like his final message to us: don't isolate yourself. Don't confuse solitude with strength. Trust people. Because that's where real power comes from. Jiren isn't boring. He's profound. He's a mirror. And he might just change your life too. If this meant something to you, make sure you subscribe, because this is what anime is really about. I want to keep making scientific anime videos that contain wisdom, that can help you guys in some way.